Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Highlands fishing DLC. Well, today is the big day I think to start the onion harvest. It's going to be a big job, but we'll get there. Did it before last year and it went okay, well enough for a relatively slow job. I think this year's field is slightly smaller maybe. Let's just compare them on the map. We did 24 last year, this year we're doing 20, so yeah, I reckon it is a smaller field. And we'll get the help to obviously help out with it as well. So it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully we'll get it done. I think it might take more than one episode. I think last year it took maybe 3 episodes to do in total, but I will try and break it up with other jobs in between. It won't just be hopefully just doing onions for episode after episode for too long. Yeah, we do need to make a start on it because they are ready to harvest. So first things first, we'll go and lease the lifting equipment and the topper. Last year I didn't get the topper, and people said that it would have actually been a better yield if I had got the topper. So this year we're going to try it with the topper as well. Hopefully I can run them both on the same tractor and do it in one pass. We'll give it a go anyway and see how that goes. And then obviously we'll need to come in again with the actual lifting machine that actually harvests the onions off the ground and puts them into the trailer or the lorry. So it's a two-stage job, but we'll start stage 1 today and hope for the best. Hopefully it will go as well as it did last year. So here we are at the shop. We'll get these 2 items leased. I won't bother leasing the big machine yet because we're not going to need that for a little bit until we've actually got the onions lifted out of the ground and topped. But let's just quickly look at the onion products, the onion harvesting. So yeah, obviously we need that, which is expensive, but we'll lease it obviously. It's the onion harvester, the actual harvester, but first of all we need to come over it with this. Definitely need this, the windrow, which picks the onions up out of the ground and cleans them. And this is what I didn't get last year, which apparently would have been a good idea because that improves the yield apparently if you use that as well. So, well, that's what I've been told anyway. I assume you're telling me the truth. So yeah, we'll lease that. That's 1,700. That's not too bad actually. These pieces aren't too bad to lease. They're actually quite cheap. This one is slightly more, but still only 3,500. So that's bearable. The other machine, on the other hand, is quite a bit more. So I'm not going to have that around for longer than I need it. It's still going to take more than an hour though, I think, so I'm going to have to pay for at least 2 hours. I think last year I might have even paid for 3 hours of use. It was quite a big field last year. Right, so we'll put that on the front and then this goes on the back. I think I'll get the helper to do most of this. Possibly because I don't really want to spend the entire episode doing this, which is what I think it will take to get the whole field done. Well, having said that, what I could do, I think what I did last year is I got this going in front and then I did actually start with the big machine not too long afterwards once the headlands had been done. So I might even get onto the big machine today, but I won't lease it just yet. I'll give it a bit of time to get ahead with this first of all, and then come in with the big machine once the headlands at least have been done, or maybe even half the field's been done. So I want to give it a bit of space to manoeuvre and stuff. But yeah, I'll just get back up to the field and I'll rejoin you. Okay, so here we are approaching the field. Let's get this set up and working. Right, so I just need to remind myself what to do. I'm assuming you just turn it on. Same with the front one. Drop it down and turn it on. And then drive forwards. And what's going on then? Is that... Oh, I see, yeah, it's putting it to one side. Which one did I... Maybe... Hang on a minute, I think I'm getting confused. I think it was the back one I didn't have last year. I think I had the front one, but I didn't have the back one. I think that's what... I actually can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I know I didn't have one of them. There was one of them that I didn't have. I think I must have used the front one, but I didn't use the rear one. So apparently having one of them, whichever one I didn't have last year, improves the yield a bit more. Apparently. I hope you're right. I'm just wondering whether this, because it's putting it off the field, I don't know whether the big harvester will be able to pick this up, because it's not going to be in the... Well, it will pick it up, but like if I use the helper, I wonder if it would actually be able to pick that up, or whether it would be running actually on the field itself. I'm not really sure how it improves the yield. I suppose it's cleaning it, isn't it? I think that's what it's doing. It's cleaning some of the soil off, which means you get more onions. As far as the game's concerned, you get more onions, or cleaner onions, which gives you more yield rather than selling a load of stones and soil with it. I suppose that's why it's saying you get more for your acreage doing it with this machine. Like in the real world, what it would be doing is just grading them, giving them a better condition. You know, you wouldn't be buying onions that are filled with rubbish. You'd have pure onions, more or less, without all the dirt on them and stuff and the rocks. I'm guessing that's what the idea behind this is, rather than actually giving more yield as such. It's not like you're actually improving the yield, it's just you're improving the quality of the onions, which in the game is sort of turning it into a better yield, basically. I understand, I think, what it's doing. Yeah, so that's what the plan is. Then we'll get this, and I'll just do one lap of the headlands, then probably get the helpers to take over, see if it can do a good job. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll do a good job with this. It looks like you can have it coming out either side, so I suppose I could be having it coming out on the inside, which might have been a better idea. This first round, I think, might be causing an issue for the next machine. It should be fine if I do it myself, though. I'm sure it'll be okay if I do it, but yeah, I think the helper might not pick this up because it's not going to be where it thinks it is. It would assume that it's where the green line is, but it's actually over here, so it might not get that. But if it doesn't, as long as it's not, as long as it gets in, once it gets into the field, as long as it gets it then, that'll be fine. But I think the first lap might be to it outside of the field boundary for the helper to get it, but we'll see. Okay, so I think what I'll do now is get the helper to take over once I get back to that corner, and see how that gets on, and then I will get the JCB tractor and we'll put the flatbed trailer on and go and pick the bales up from that field, the wheat field. Was it a wheat field? I think it was. Yes, it was a wheat field, wasn't it? The one over there where the bales are. We need to pick those bales up, so I'll get that on the fast track in a second, and we'll go and do that while this helper just gets this field started. And then once, like I say, once we've got the headlands done and a bit of the middle of the field done, there should be then room to come in with the big machine and actually start to properly harvest the onions, get them into the lorry and take them over to the vegetable processing plant, where we turn them into onion soup and onion salt. So yeah, that'll start to get some more money in for them when they're ready, and we'll be able to sell them when the price is good, as always. So yeah, I will time lapse from now on, and we'll see how it gets on. Okay, so I've got a full load. Unfortunately, I can't find a way of unloading the trailer again. It's done this before. I think it's probably because I partially loaded it last time and then resumed loading it. And as you saw there, one of the bales wouldn't load at all. I'm not quite sure why, but anyway, I'm trying to unload them here, but I can't see how. I can change the side from left to right, but I can't actually see a way of unloading again, so that's annoying. I might have to manually unload them, then load them again, and then unload it and see if it will work that time. So if I pull all the bales off but put them close to the trailer, hopefully I can get it to load it and unload neatly. We'll try again and see what happens. Oh, that's yeah, that's certainly a mess, but I'm hoping I'll be able to tidy this up. Hang on a second, if I just get them all off and then we'll try again and hope for the best. Hopefully we can get this to work and we don't just end up with a massive pile of bales. Right, I'll jump back in again and then load. Hopefully it'll do it properly this time. Right, and then unload. There we go. So left shift I. Maybe it wasn't showing up, but there we go. That's better. Right, good. That was worrying me a bit, but yeah, we've sorted it. Okay, so as you can see, the helper's still going around the field. That's good. Almost finished the headlands. I think it's doing 4 laps of the headlands, so it's on number 4 now. And then it'll be starting the up and down. I better not drive on the onions, actually. That wouldn't be good. Right, okay, back to the straw field, and I'll get the next load of bales loaded on, and then hopefully by that time the field will be done enough that we can get the big machine in and start to pick up some of the onions. I thought I'd just get a few trees pulled into the sawmill to make sure that doesn't run out, but now that should be nice and filled with wood again. There we go, yep, so nice and topped up there, so that'll keep going for a bit. And here's the progress on the onion lifting. So we've got the headlands done, and now it's working up and down in the middle of the field. I think that's probably enough to consider buying, or no, leasing the big machine. Definitely not buying it. So let's go to onion harvesting again, and we'll lease that. So that's going to cost probably about 30 something thousand, is it? Oh, 28. What a bargain. Okay. So yeah, we'll lease that. At least we don't have to get any other attachments for it. I think that's everything. So yeah, that's not too bad. We will need to put the container on, but first of all, let's actually go and get the machine. So here it is at the shop. Oh no, potatoes. Oh dear. Have I just messed up again? No, I think we're okay. Are we? No, I am. No, I've messed up. Ah. Actually, that was cheaper. The onions one is cheaper. Oh dear. Bear with me, I will just replace that with the onion one. Okay, second time lucky. It's actually a bit cheaper, 26,800, so a little bit cheaper than the potato one, that's good. So here we are with the onion machine. It's a bit misleading that, because it's in the onion technology, or onion lifting technology, and then it says potatoes. You'd have thought the potato one would just be in the potato category and they'd have a separate one for the onions only, but never mind. Easy mistake to make, I'm sure. I'm sure many of you have done it as well. I bet it's not only me. And of course I am trying to provide a commentary at the same time as concentrating on what I'm doing, which always makes it harder. Some of us are good at multitasking, others not so much, and I'm probably one of the ones that's not so good at multitasking, so yeah, blame that. Anyway, yeah, let's get up to the field again and we will get this going on a helper. Hopefully it'll work. If not, I will do the headland myself. In fact, I'll see how it goes. I'll start it on the helper, but I think it will not do the outside one, so I might have to do that on myself. But if I do, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I'll get this up to the field and get it started, and then we'll get the container body on the lorry and we'll get this unloaded and start harvesting. And obviously this is going to be going down to the least vegetable packing, whatever it's called, processing place. Let's just check what that's called before I mess up again. Where are we? It's down here somewhere. Vegetable processing plant, that's where it's going to. And now I'm driving through it. Oh dear, I'm demolishing the road signs as well. Right, not going terribly well. Anyway, yes, let's get to the field. I will put it back on time lapse so I can concentrate a bit better, and we will start lifting the onions. You know what? I think I might take over from the helper. It's not doing a terribly good job. This one's doing good. I'm actually really impressed with that. I've just noticed it's doing a... it's like joining the swaths together, so we're having to cover less ground with the harvester when we come over it with this. So that's really good. I'm actually really impressed with that. I think it was worth getting, even if it's not improving the yield. It's certainly making it easier to harvest because it's putting it into less swaths. On the other hand, this machine has made a bit of a meal of turning around the corner and then crash into the other helper, so I think we'll just get rid of that one for a bit. I might start the helper again in a minute when I go and unload, but for the time being I'll just get this emptied now and then I'll do it myself, I think, for a bit, because I think last time I did it myself anyway, and the helper's not really impressing me too much at the moment on this machine, so I'll do it myself. Anyway, yeah, so back to time lapse again. Let's go and do some more onion lifting and see how we get on. Okay, first load of onions delivering to the the vegetable processing plant here, so get that reactivated again. Now in the menu here, vegetables, we need onion soup, activate that, and I think we were doing onion salt as well. Yeah, we were, so we'll do them both, it's fine. A bit of variety there. So that's all good. The helper's still going with the topping, but I'm going to just, I think, do the harvesting myself. It's a lot easier. We've got a few pallets here. I'll just move these a bit out of the way because I don't want the storage capacity to get full before we get a chance to move these. We'll obviously be selling these in the well, whenever the price is good. Actually, probably isn't going to be that long before the price improves on these. But I just want to make sure there's enough space for them to spawn before that time comes. I don't actually know when the best time is to sell these, but I will just check that actually out of interest, because I don't think it'll be that long. I imagine it'll be fairly soon when we can sell these. In fact, is it now? I do keep checking the prices. I do remember checking them, but I can't remember exactly when it was. No, I think it was slightly later in the year, wasn't it? Onion. Where are we? Onion soup. December. Oh, of course it is. It's always December. November for the salt, though. So yeah, it's coming up. We'll have a nice good load to sell in November, December time. So that's good. We've still got all of last year's here. Well, not all of it, but you know, quite a lot from last year is still here. So we'll get all them sold, and then obviously we'll have quite a few pallets from this harvest as well to sell when that time comes. I'm just trying to keep them separate, mainly just because if there's a different sell point to go to, I'll try and keep them separate on the trailer, or sell them separately probably, so that we don't end up selling the wrong ones at the wrong place and getting less money for them. So we'll keep the soup over this side and the salt over that side, and then that way we'll get them sold separately if we need to. Might not need to, but if the price is significantly different at the sell points, then that's what I'll do. There we go. And also now we know how much we're producing from this harvest, because that's obviously all the rest of last harvest there, so everything now that appears will be from this harvest. I don't think we'll get as much as we did last year though, because the field isn't as big, and I'm not sure whether we're getting a good yield or not really as last year. I think it doesn't feel to be getting an amazing yield. I think the field is not probably the best for doing onions on, but we're obviously not doing too bad. We've only harvested the headland really so far, so one load off the headlands and then the rest of it we'll see how we do. Won't be today though, but I think we could get the whole thing finished by next episode, the end of next episode. So I think we've just covered 2 episodes, which isn't too bad. I think last time it was 3 episodes if I remember correctly, so yeah, if we can get it done in 2 episodes that would be good, and we can obviously move on to something different. But for now I'll just get back to the field, do a little bit more, but then probably call it a day and then do the rest next time. Looks like the help has just finished with the other machines, so we can get them returned in a second, and I think this is a very good time to actually end, as it's just finished there. It's perfect timing really to end this episode, and then obviously we'll get this finished off next time. Also, first time I've noticed this, but look at that, I'm really impressed with that. So we've got cameras on the tank and all the on the webs as well on the machine, so we can see exactly what's happening, which is, I think, it's really impressive that. So it's not like a rear view camera, it's like actual proper cameras that are filming different parts of the machine. Obviously just got full, so we'll go and unload, and then yeah, we'll leave it there and then continue this next time. Also, just to finish off, just out of interest, when is the best price for the goat's milk? Because we've got a few pallets of goat's milk over there. I will just check that as well, as I'm on the prices menu at the moment. Let's just go to goat's milk and have a quick look. September and January, so yeah, coming up. We might be getting them sold next month then. That's good. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. That's another almost full load. We'll get this finished off next time, and we'll see how much we get in total off this field. But yeah, it's going really well actually, and I'm actually quite impressed with that machine that I didn't get last time. The way it's swathing into less rows, get bigger rows of less or more spaced out rows, so that you don't have to go over as many times on the field with this machine to save a bit of time. Oh yes, and before I finish, I did say I was just going to return that leased onion machine, so that one can go, and that one, which did a really good job there for me there, so I'm really impressed with those. Probably will get both again next time. Even if it doesn't improve the yield, it certainly makes it easier for this machine, so yeah, happy with that. Right, okay, so yeah, we're going to finish there. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.